After reaching the NBA Finals in 1987 and the Conference Finals in '88, time began catching up with the Celtics. Larry Bird was plagued by injuries, while Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish were entering the twilight of their careers. With Bird missing most of the '89 season, Boston was swept in the first round of the playoffs, and it was clear that this run of Celtic glory was coming to an end. It became official in 1992 when Bird announced his retirement, closing out his legendary career. The Celtics would now turn to younger players like Brian Shaw, Dee Brown, and their newest star, Reggie Lewis. In 1993, they lost to the upstart Hornets in the playoffs, but their greatest loss would come that summer when Lewis died suddenly of a heart ailment. And with McHale and Parrish both on their way out, the Celtics were a team in transition. Everything was changing, even their fabled arena, as historic Boston Garden gave way to the new Fleet Center. And despite a brief playoff appearance in 1995, the Celtics would struggle for much of the decade. They tried new leadership, hiring Rick Pitino as head coach. But it wasn't until 1998 that things began turning around. That's the year Boston drafted Paul Pierce, who would become their biggest star since the Larry Bird era. Pierce joined Antoine Walker to form one of the league's highest scoring duos, and together they led the franchise back to respectability. In 2002, the Celtics returned to the playoffs for the first time in 7 years, reaching the conference finals before losing to New Jersey. But the next 2 years, Boston failed to make it past the second round. So they placed the team in the hands of one of their former stars, naming Danny Ainge as head of basketball operations. And Ainge began rebuilding the team with a flurry of trades and the hiring of Doc Rivers as head coach. By 2004, it had been 18 years since the Celtics' last championship, the longest drought in franchise history. But reminders of the team's legacy are always close at hand. The jerseys of their retired greats hang in the rafters, along with the 16 championship banners. The search for number 17 has been a frustrating quest. But the Celtics have been through lean years before, reviving their dynasty time and time again. And as they look to the future, they can always draw inspiration from their proud and glorious past. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of the Dynasty series, The Complete History of the Boston Celtics. I'm Spiro Dedes.